What's up, guys? Welcome to Nimble Minds Talks of Self and Spirituality, where we talk about different philosophical perspectives as well as different spiritual practices. The previous video I did, it was more geared towards this book that I am currently reading, Papers in African Psychology, and it was more so geared towards the African people, the melanated people out here. This video is not going to be more so focused on that. This video is actually going to be titled Holiday Season, and it's just because of the current times we're in. As most people know, it is Christmas time, and me personally, I will not be necessarily celebrating like that, but that does not mean for the people out there that are celebrating Christmas, for the people out there that are with their families, should not be enjoying themselves. That does not mean they should not be out there enjoying the time that they have with their families. And also the people who may not be able to connect or be closer to their families right now, you can still have that joy. You can still have that celebratory vibe going on, and there's still plenty of things to be grateful for and plenty of things to have a smile about. So make sure you guys do that. But the main thing I do want to focus on with this video that is titled Holiday Season is that although we are in this time, right, of the year, if you are a person who celebrates it, because you may not be celebrating it either, and it's like, hey, another day to you, that's also valid. But because we are in these times, you have to understand the temptations, okay, are going to be greater now in the season that we are in, just because of society. And for me, I'm speaking from the perspective and the experience of being in America, United States. So just from that perspective, right, and in the United States and in America, the temptations are at an all-time high around the holidays, around events like this. That's just the truth. The temptations are always at an all-time high because what? Usually it's ads if you watch TV, and not even on TV anymore, anything on your phone. Even if you listen to the radio, even if you're at the store, even if you're outside, there's probably some posters or something that's trying to get you to, hey, it's this Christmas time, so buy this alcoholic eggnog. It's Christmas time, so, get around the family and have a great time and drink. And not to say not to do that. If you're with your family and you want to enjoy yourself, go ahead and do that. But for people out there, you have to understand, a lot of people during this time will stray. A lot of people during this time will give themselves a reason to not stay true to abstaining from lust, to not stay true to abstaining from the desires, okay? Maybe you're a person out there, you want to have your drink, that's okay. Maybe you're a person, you want to have this and that, that's okay. But there are people who, because of this, will now fall back into that cycle. There are people who now, because of this, will now fall back into that loop, okay? So you want to be very aware, very cognizant, and understand that don't do that, okay? If you're a person who is, handling your lust, right? I love to focus on that, okay? Because of how powerful that sexual energy is, because of how powerful lust really is, okay? Lust can get to anybody, and it does get to everybody, okay? And it's not a fight that everybody can win, okay? If you want to know the most undefeated thing in the entire history of anything, it's that lust, bro. It's that lust. There's people who have never recovered from that knockdown, okay? There's people who have never recovered from that right hand that lust will give you if you let it, okay? So understand that this is a time where people more so than ever will fall back into that lust, and this will cause them to go into a loop of lust that they cannot recover from, a loop of lust that even if they can recover from, it's going to take even more work, and it's better to have prevented something from happening than to try to cure it when it does. So if you're a person who's dealing with, handling your lust, which everyone has a type of call to lust, right? But if you're a person who is handling that, understand that in the times we're in this holiday season, although be cheerful, although be happy and grateful, you have your family around. And if you're not around your family, be happy that they're only a phone call away in the times that we're in. Be happy that they're only a FaceTime away. Be happy that they're only a text message away. Be happy that, you're still here. Be happy about the things you can control, but do not fall back into that loop, into that hole, okay? Because it's very easy now. And now it's very easy because now you have a reason to do it. Now you have a reason to go sleep with that girl. Now you have a reason to go sleep with this guy. Oh, it's a Christmas party. Oh, it's a holiday party, okay? It's a winter solstice. I don't know. If people got any reason, hey, there's drinks here. Like, look, now you have a reason to do it. And what greater show of self-control, what greater show of resisting temptation than when you have a reason to do something and you decide not to? What greater show of control? What greater show of the power you have over yourself? What greater show of appreciation and care for your spirit, for your soul, is when you say, you know what, spirit, you know what, soul, I have every reason right now. Society is telling me that this is the time. Society is telling me it's time. Society is telling me tonight is the night. Society is telling me that it's okay because this is the season we're in and I can do this. What greater show of care, what greater show of love for your soul, your spirit, than to go, you know what? I understand there are some things that can damage the spirit. There are some things that can stain the soul. And you know what? We're not even gonna take that chance right now. We're not even gonna worry about that right now. Okay? So, once again, you have to be very aware of that. Be very aware of that, okay? There are gonna be people who do indulge. And if you're gonna be one of those people, be aware that, okay, there is a risk there. That's all I'm saying. Just be aware that there is a risk there. If you want to go and have that drink, go have that drink. If you want to go pick up something and go smoke it. And I know the last video I was just talking about, we're going in on it. And that's still valid. That is still valid. Because of the season we're in, you're going to have to understand there are going to be some people who, look, hey, they going to give in. Because of the season we're in, you're going to have to understand there's going to be people who give in. Because of the season we're in, you're going to have to understand there's going to be some people who give in. So if you're going to be one of those people who give in, you need to be aware that, okay, I'm going to have this drink. Okay, I'm going to smoke this. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I got this woman with me. Okay, if you're a woman, you got this guy with you. Okay, you need to understand that. And you need to understand what can happen and what it can lead to, right? Okay? Understand, hey, if you're having this drink and you're at a gathering, you don't understand how everybody gonna handle their drink. You don't understand how everybody gonna handle that blunt. You don't understand how everybody's gonna handle sleeping with this woman, how everybody's gonna handle this woman sleeping with this man. You just don't understand that, okay? You don't understand, something that somebody may have been harboring at this gathering, right? And now all of a sudden they had a couple of drinks, they had a couple of smokes, and now all of a sudden it's coming out at this gathering. Now it's making you want to say something. Now it's making you want to say, you know what I'm saying, give your 2 cents. Now it's making you want to go, you know what, something ain't right. You don't understand that. So you need to be aware of that if you're going to be one of the people that decides to indulge. Okay? And now, let's also talk about it with the other side of that. If you're going to be people who sleeping with somebody, maybe you're making it a plan to, we trying to have a Christmas baby or something. It's like that out here. Some people, it's better to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? I guess, than to, it's better to have a plan, right? It is. So that's better. But still, there's going to be people out here who are like, I got this woman with me. It's holiday season and I got that holiday cheer, for this holiday beer. So you got to be aware of that. Okay? So if you're not ready for a situation, wear that protection for the man. If you're not ready for that situation, do what you got to do for the woman. If you're not ready for that situation. Okay? Make sure you take some precautions and understand that, hey, if you're going to indulge, then be ready for what can happen. Because once again, it's not all doom and gloom. Like, oh my gosh, it's the holiday season. I can nope. I'm pretty sure plenty of people will be fine, and that is the goal. That is the intention. The intention is that people have the self-control. The people can handle themselves. People can do these things, and they're perfectly fine. They don't need to worry about it, but that's just not the reality, okay? A lot of people, have a couple drinks. Now they want to fight somebody. That's how it is. A lot of people smoke a little something. Now all of a sudden they want to take everybody woman. Now all of a sudden this woman want to sleep with everybody man. Like, that's just how it is. So be careful and be ready for these situations, okay? And be ready for these situations. Because now, more than ever, especially with the holidays and celebrations, the temptations are pretty much put on a silver platter. Like, here you go, just take it. Just take it, okay? There's probably some events you'll go to during this time where stuff is free. And honestly, it's hard to beat stuff that's free. So it's like, I might as well take it, right? Well, should you take it? That's a great question. Hey, should you take that? That's a great question. Should you take that? That is a great question. And that only you are going to answer. So just be honest with yourself, okay? If you're going to indulge, be honest. Okay, you know what? I'm going to indulge. If you're not going to indulge, be honest with yourself. You know what? I'm probably going to be around it, but you know what? I can say no. I'm not going to indulge. You have to be honest with yourself, okay? And that goes into just the aspects of the society. Once again, a lot of things are pushed as if they are the norm, as if they are something that should just be regularly taken, all the time without any type of care or any type of afterthought to it. And for me personally, I would tell you, give thought to everything. A lot of people say don't think about it, and I'm not saying that doesn't have its advantages and that doesn't have its uses, because I'm sure it does. And it does, right? But definitely give thought to the things you're doing. Just be aware of the things you are doing, because they do have an effect on you, okay? So, once again, the temptations are at an all-time high, okay? And personally, I would recommend, hey, don't indulge, because that's where I'm going. I'm trying to really, test myself and see, what can I really, when the temptations are at an all-time high around me, when I have every reason to do something, can I really stick to the decision to not do something? Could I really stick to that decision to, I'm not giving into that temptation. I hear the temptation calling, right? You know how it is. You see that drink over there. That drink's trying to talk to you. That drink's like, hey, drink me. That blunt's like, smoke me. Okay? That girl's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? She wanted, hey, that's what it is. And for the men out there, I'm sure you out there like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some action. Look, that's natural. That's okay. But can you have that self-control? Can you say no when you have every reason to say yes? Okay. And can you say yes to something when you have every reason to say no? What does that mean? Can you say no? We went over this, right? Can you say no to giving into temptation, giving into the desires when you have every reason to say, yeah, I'll have this drink. It's just, just this little drink right now. I'll have this smoke. It's just, ain't nothing, I'll lay with this woman. It's just, it ain't really nothing, Can you do that? All right? And on the other side of that, can you say yes when you have every reason to say no to something? What does that mean? Can you say yes, I'm going to have self-control? Can you say yes, I'm going to say no to the temptations? Can you say yes, I'm going to say no to the desires? Can you say yes, that, hey, I need to have some self-control, some self-awareness. Can you say yes to those things when you're in a situation where you would be justified to say no to those things? When you're in a situation where there is drinks around and everybody's like, here you go, there's no reason to say no. Here you go, there's no reason to say no. When you're in a situation where you're choosing to say yes and people are looking at you crazy for saying yes, people are looking at you like, what? You're saying yes to not giving in to temptation? You're saying yes to not giving in to desire? Who are you? You have every reason to go, but you say no? You have every reason to go, but you say no. So, are you going to be a person who gives into your desires and gives in to temptations this holiday season? Or are you going to be a person that has some self-control, some self-awareness, and goes like, you know what? I have every reason to go, but I'm going to say no. Only you're going to make that decision at the end of the day. I cannot make that decision for you. So, with that being said, whoever's watching, who's ever listening, I hope that you enjoy the time that you have with your family, whether you're close, whether you're far, whether you're near, whether you're here. I hope that you enjoy yourself, whether you're with their company, or maybe you're taking time for yourself and you're enjoying your company. Okay? Either is valid. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope you are just having a great time and really having a positive experience, because that is a great thing. So with that being said, hope you took some from this video that you can apply to your life, that you can apply to your situation in any way, the best way that you can. And then you can use it and utilize it to have a positive effect, a positive change on your mentality, on your physicality, on your reality. Okay? To be better, even if it's just a little bit. So, with that being said, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.